reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
Hey everybody, it's Jason with MMO Reporter here at PAX West 2016. I'm hanging out with Carter from Motiga, now part of Perfect World. Sounds like that's been a big change for you guys. Yeah. We're talking about Gigantic today. They've got a whole new build coming out. The servers will be back online soon. They're working towards open beta. How's your PAX going so far?
It's been great so far. It's been real busy. A lot of people playing the game, a lot of people having fun. So yeah, it's been all good.
Good. We had a chance to dig in and play a little bit of the demo they had here for us at PAX, so I wanted to dive in and talk to you a little bit about that. First, I'll just comment, the UI that you guys have had as compared to the previous builds that we've seen, it's very, very improved. Where would you say that the UI is in terms of what you would call final? Are you still working on this pretty heavily?
Yeah, we're still definitely iterating on it. You know, as you mentioned, we recently basically completely overhauled it. And so it's pretty far along in that process, but we're continuing to iterate on it and improve it. So, you know, if I were to put a percent on it, I would say it's like 70% along, but yeah, we'll just keep making improvements to it as we go.
Well, I like what I've seen so far. It's far more usable for people to use now than it was before. I remember a couple years ago we jump into demos and it would tend to look a little, I don't want to say confusing. There was nothing confusing about it, but it was unclear where the focal points should have been. So that's really been sorted out, and it's far easier to jump into the game now. Yeah. During the demo, you know, we had a great coach over here helping us with the demo, teaming up, good strategy, helped us win our game against our competitors, and that worked out pretty well. Have you guys worked toward establishing some sort of meta for your gameplay? Are you really anti-meta? Tell us about how you envision strategy going for players and in games.
Yeah, that's a good question. To answer your question directly, it's kind of in between. You know, we definitely aren't trying to define any sort of strict meta to our game, like, you know, you need a tank, 1 DPS, 1 support, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, team composition is somewhat important. But what we've seen so far, and you know, the game's still in the early stages, so the meta is something that's going to continually evolve as we go, as teams get better and better, and they try new stuff, and there's more and more players to experiment with things. But what we've seen so far is a very wide variety of, speaking to team comp specifically, can work as long as you plan around it and you strategize around it and your team is coordinated. So it's pretty fluid at this point.
That's awesome. So you have these different compositions. You're trying to get everybody to work with different sorts of comps to kind of have everybody pick who they want. That seemed to be pretty heavily encouraged, is play who you want, and it will probably work out if you can work on the comp. How are you working on balance of the game? Are you working on balancing each character? Are you working on balancing combinations of characters for synergy? How's that going?
It's a constant process, and yes to both of them. You know, like if any character is out of line one way or the other just by themselves, then we obviously try to address that. But also, like you said, if there's like a certain combination, like, oh, if you're playing this hero, your teammate's playing this hero, you both get these 2 upgrades, then it's crazy, then yeah, that's something we want to address as well. So it's just a constant effort as we add things, the balance changes, as we tweak some game rule stuff here, then it throws the hero balance off a little bit there, and so it's a constant process.
I understand, and that's exactly what you want during this beta process.
Yeah.
The Guardians in the game, you know, we'd push through. You want us to go and focus on the Guardians and focus on those. The fighting that they did back toward the players seemed very choreographed, and while the Guardians were weakened, it seemed like they didn't really do much other than hang out. Yeah. When the enemy team, if you can manage, so in our game, we managed to get through the enemy team, we team killed, we got on their Guardian, it was just a perfect storm of us going right through and really doing a lot of damage. Yeah. Do you plan to have the Guardians take a more active role in their defense? Is this what you intend?
So the Guardians, when they're not vulnerable, they're a lot more active, like you said. You know, they're interactive. You go up and they start fighting you, and they're actually pretty strong. Like, you don't want to hang around the enemy Guardian too long if you can avoid it. But you know, when you do win a rampage, as we call it, where you get full power for your Guardian goes across the map and pins the other Guardian down, that's your chance to do as much damage as you can as a player. And at that point, we don't intend for the Guardian that's getting pinned to fight back, because this is like your chance to go in there. And you know, usually the enemy team is defending, so it's kind of you're going for the wound, and they're trying to push you off of it. And sometimes you'll shift priorities, like, okay, we can't get the wound, let's just go kill as many of them as we can. But yeah, at that point, the Guardian is not intended to really fight back, because they're getting pinned by your Guardian. Like, he's or she is helping you out by holding them down so that you can beat on them.
That's perfect. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So then today, you know, we jumped right into a game. The new player experience for us was, again, you know, we had a coach, one of your colleagues, that was doing a great job helping us out, coaching us through the game. Tell us about the new player experience. When I started with Gigantic a long time ago, it was not very clear how the new player experience would work out. Have you put a lot of effort into that? Is that something we're going to see in the next builds coming out to the public?
Yeah, that's definitely something we're working on. So, you know, like development-wise, you know, we thought it was really important to get the core of the game as good as we possibly could. And so, you know, the focus, not that we weren't focused on the new player experience, part of the kind of UI overhaul that we did is to make things a little more clear, both for new players and experienced ones. But we are putting a lot of effort into like what an actual new player experience is, because right now, you know, you just kind of jump in, and the way to learn the game is to play the game, which is good, but also it can be a bit of a rough transition. So we're definitely adding stuff. We have, not in this version at PAX, but the versions that we have coming out soon, they have like they have like a practice arena where you can jump in and learn your skills and everything before you jump into a full match. And we're trying to expand on that by adding, like, teaching you not just like what your skills do, but kind of how the game works and all that stuff, so you have a chance to learn it before you jump into a full 5-on-5 match.
That's fantastic. So then as you jump in and you get playing these games, how does progression and advancement work? Do you unlock characters? Do you unlock abilities through progression? Do you have cosmetics? Presumably it's going to be free to play. You have some way to get us to spend some money with you guys.
Yes, you will have an opportunity to spend money if you want. It's definitely not a requirement. You know, one of the things that's important to us is that as a free-to-play game, if you do just want to play it for free, you can do that. So, you know, at no point are you required to spend any money to keep playing or to play it for real or anything like that. But, you know, we do, you can earn heroes or earn currency to buy heroes through playing the game, or you can spend money and just buy the heroes that way. Same idea for the cosmetics. The skins and stuff, you can either buy them for currency that you earn or through currency that you buy. And then as far as like, we do have a full like account progression system, like you're constantly leveling up your account and unlocking new things that way as well. But one thing we try not to do is, you know, force anything into the realm of like, okay, you need to play and unlock this thing in order to compete. And so, you know, obviously, you know, pay-to-win stuff is not well received by anyone, ourselves included, so we're trying not to do any of that and just make sure everything is fair that way.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, Carter, thanks very much for your time.
Yep.
You guys, this is Gigantic. It's here at PAX. If you have a chance and you're here at PAX West, you should come and stand in the line. It doesn't take too long to get through and play. It's come a long way. I'm really looking forward to open beta. I know everybody that listens to our podcasts are really looking forward to the beta and to have the game out for us to play. So thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody, enjoy your PAX.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOreporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.